One more time. I'm just going to kill these videos today. I'm going to knock them out 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do a video response into what Keith Kalfas had put on about hiring employees. And that is the most difficult part of having your own business by far. And he's right. It is if you're in desperate need, it's the worst time to go try to find somebody, because you are going to get burned every time by a person who has inexperience or just lacks a brain. And I've been in both of those scenarios. I have one guy that I have working with me, and he is a gem. I'm talking G-E-M, gem. And he's much more talented and has much more abilities than I could ever ask for. And he outside of working for me on days when I need him, he also has another business that he even runs doing another type of service. But he's just one of those guys who I can give him an address, and once that he knows what to do, I can give him the keys and he can go handle it, and I have no worries about it. Now, if I could afford to pay him 50 grand a year, I would do that. But of course, a lot of us aren't in that position to do any of that. So I have put out ads on Craigslist or a local, job search forums, and returned back some idiots, for sure. And don't put it past anybody. They have to have a legitimate resume, and 100% you need to check on those, because they will lie to you. They will lie to you and tell you that they can do it when they absolutely cannot do it. A guy came to me just the other day that I met him for an interview at a restaurant. I said, let's meet. It's a Sunday afternoon. Let's meet. I'll interview you. I'll buy you lunch, and we'll talk about what my expectations are. He agreed, so I met him. He went through, sent me an email with his resume that said he had worked for 1, 2, 3, 4 landscapers. He knew how to do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. He was this age, he needed a job. Right now he's unemployed and wanted to get back employed. I thought I'd give him a shot. Now, granted, he was a little overweight, and I was concerned about that. And for sure, he couldn't handle it. And everything that he said that he could do, he could not do it. I was losing money, bleeding money that day that he was out working. And then finally, I just said, call someone and have them come pick you up. You're wasting me money. Not only was he tore up yards, he damaged equipment. It was a nightmare. And that's not only the first time that's ever happened to me. So when you guys are in the need for growing your business and hiring help, whether that's part-time, full-time, seasonal, that person, you need to make sure that person is qualified by contacting their former employees. I don't care if they worked at McDonald's before. Contact them. Ask them what was their work ethic. Did they show up on time? Were they late? That is the worst thing that you will ever come across to David, is if you are late. I've had guys who are 45 minutes late on their first day of work. 45 minutes late on their first day. And they expected me to hire them the next day. No. Not happening. You cannot be late. I find people here have the worst work ethic that I've ever seen. Maybe my work ethic is maybe I'm expecting too much. I don't know. But I also expect somebody to have a brain to know that when we come to a yard, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 things before we leave. And if you haven't done those things, then we can't leave. And if I'm doing something to turn circles around you, it's hard to find good help that you can afford. Now, you can always find good help, but can you afford that good help? I mean, I could go out and find somebody and pay them 50 grand a year, and they'd be awesome. They could run the show, but I don't have $50,000 a year to pay them. So we are looking for those younger, money-hungry kids. I mean, I have a guy who's going to start next week who's coming out of college at Valdosta State. He's moving back home. Needs a summer job for him this day to this day. And I said, yes, come on. I know his father. He's a young guy. I actually went to school with his dad. And he's like 17 or 18 years old. So I'm going to give him a shot. I know him through, I mean, I've known him all his life because I've known his dad since high school, but I'm going to give him a shot. But regardless of if I know him or not, I'm going to give him a list of requirements, of expectations of what I expect him to do. I expect you to do this, 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 and this. And if you can't do this, then this is not going to work out. And I will tell them up front, this is a trial period. I'm going to give you 2 days to prove yourself to me that you can do this job. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And agree upon the money of what he's going to get paid before he starts. There's nothing worse than a guy who's given a half-assed job, but he doesn't know how much he's going to get paid because he thinks that, oh well, I'm not going. This is not worth it, or something. So you have to make it worth their time. Let them decide if it's going to be worth it or not. Tell them at the beginning of the day how much you're going to get paid, whether it's by the hour or by the day, however it's going to be. So be upfront with that person. Tell them your expectations. Tell them what they're responsible for. Tell them how much they're going to get paid. Check their references 100%. And if any of that doesn't check out, if you get a bad feeling, don't do it. Because ultimately, like Keith said, it is to put money in my pocket and put money in his pocket. And if he's costing me money, then it's not worth it. Hopefully with that next person, you can amp up that production to get more. So if not, you need to go search otherwise. Hope this helped you out. This is another episode of The Lawn Ranger. We'll talk to you soon.